Hello and welcome everybody to my fifth episode of my learning series. Today we are going into the game stats from the book 2.0, and it's from the demonstrate it demonstrates arithmetic operations with variables, and that's the content of the today's video. First we are going to write, like always or most of the time, the using namespace std, so we have a much easier job by coding the rest. And now I wanna apologize for something from the last episode because I explained it a little bit wrong. I figured out from here this code here what it means exactly: the type definition unsigned short integer and then the unshort that we defined is not what I told in the fourth episode. I write it in the code that we use after that, and the type definition is like to define a short definition for the unsigned short integer, so you don't have to write the unsigned short integer all the time. And for this example, we have just an unsigned integer, not an unsigned short integer, so I'm only writing this down, and then we can call it unint, and then it works as this name, the unsigned integer. You can name it now unint. It's just for that you have less work. And then we can continue, and then we can say the unint is score, and the score equals to 5000. And then we have the count, and it should say the score and then that the value is written, score and endl, and this should output us the 5000. And let's see if it works. Yes, it's score 5000, and that's how this works. We continue, and for the next one we have score again, but this time the score that we have is the score plus 100. And as you might imagine, it will be 100 added to the code. And as we finish the code, and start it. Oh, I might have my, oh yes, here should be oh, I know why. Now it should work. Now it's good, and as you can see, the output is 5100. Now I have already written the next code. Here it's quite similar, the code we have, and the output should be the same, because this operator is basically, it means everything that's on the right will be added to the left. That means this 100 will be added to the score. But there is a but, because the program will be executed from the top to the bottom. Score is changed here. That means the score is now not 5000 like here, it's 5100. That means if you run the console now, you will see the score is 5200. And now in our next code, we make a new variable. Our variable is int lives, and our current lives are 3. But we add this code, the plus lives, and what this does is just every time this is executed, the plus lives, it will add 1 life to it. So as we run it, you can see there is a 4. We have 4 lives now. If we would do that in a loop, that means you repeat the program over and over, or if you gather something that adds a life to it, you can run this part one time and it just adds 1 life to it. And that's how this code works. The next code here is very similar, and when I run it, you can see lives 4, and for my second code that I have written now is lives 5. But as you can see here in the codes in the book, we have here a little lives equals 3 above it. That means we put the life value fresh into the code. That means lives equals 3, and when we run it now, it's 4. So it writes it's new because lives is new defined. And let's continue to the next code. We have here a new variable, the bonus, and we use this for the example here with our multiplication. You can use other things instead of multiplication. It's maybe also addition. It's just for this example. And when you have the plus pluses at the beginning of lives, they will already add 1 to lives. That means it is 4 now, and when you make it multiplied by 10, it means the bonus is now 40. And when you have it after that, it only takes lives, and these lives only have the value of 3 because it does not count those operators here. And when we multiply it by 10, it will result by 30. And I can show you this here. If I run the program, we have lives on both 4 because we add 1, but if you have the multiplication after, it will only multiplicate with the 3 without the operator. And you have to be cautious that you don't make such faults because it can be an annoying fault to find in your program. And now for the last code for today, we have a special one because here, as you can see, this is the largest number that we can work with in the unsigned integer. So that means if we run this number, we have defined score new with this number, and we add 1 to it. And then when we run it, as you can see, we'll get 0. Why we are getting 0? Here, because if I change this number like 1 more, and I run it, here's 0, because I'm 1 over it and it starts new from 0, and I add 1 to it, so it equals to 1. And if I would make an even bigger number out of it, or a smaller, like say I make 310 and run it, we have here 14 and here 15, just add 1 plus, but it starts from new. It starts again. And if you have other commands to do this, like you don't have an unsigned integer or only an integer, the behavior of these numbers are different, and you have to exactly watch out how far are the numbers going for your specific command, and when you do that you will not run into such problems. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it or learned something, and we will see us in the 6th episode of my learning series. Bye.